All right, so one of the things that I did a video that talks about uh, my concerns for downtown Tacoma, and it talked about two companies that are leaving downtown, and one of those is DaVita, and the other one State Farm. Both have a pretty large presence in downtown Tacoma, and there were reports that they're going to be leave. I think State Farm is later this year. DaVita is over the next couple of years, and then basically downtown is losing out on those couple of thousand people. So there are some concerns there. However, I did also a video that talks about Tacoma's economic boom. Now I'll put both of those videos in the description box below, so you can go to them. And so in that video that talks about Tacoma's construction boom, it talks about all of the money that's been invested in Tacoma, starting a little bit last year, and then this year, and maybe a little bit beyond. And so it talks about the various projects. Now, I'm going to talk about one of those projects again, but also a new project that I think is going to be very interesting. So this is going to be a video that really goes kind of in depth on a new plan that the city has. The first one, which I've mentioned before, is talking about the Tacoma Town Center. Now, the Town Center is basically a project that is somewhat like a lifestyle mall. You know, you park your car. When we lived in Albuquerque, there was a lifestyle mall, and it was called ABQ Uptown. So it was a really, really cool concept, and so we loved it. You know, it was pretty much the only mall that we went to when we lived in Albuquerque. It did not have a movie theater or anything like that. It was just basically more of your higher end shops and stores that were located there. So it was really, really cool. We loved the concept. And you just park your car and walk to the particular store that you liked. There was no residential space above. Now, Tacoma's project will have residential spaces above and then have like retail stores down below. Have no idea what type of stores are going to be located there in the lifestyle malls. As you know, malls are starting to die out across the country due to various factors, but mainly due to online shopping. And so lifestyle malls are a little bit more popular for some because you don't have to go through this huge giant box of stores in order to get to the one that you really and truly want to go to. And typically these lifestyle malls are great in warmer climates because you can go any time of the year, enjoy the weather. Here it's a little bit different because our weather is not always bright and sunny as people always talk about. So that's kind of the concept here in Tacoma. And so that to me is going to be a huge win because obviously you're putting more people downtown with all the residential spaces. A few hundred residents are going to be living in this. And then also you're going to have the retail element below and possibly either a mini theater. So it's not going to be a huge multiplex deal where you have 16 different screens. But it's going to be a smaller style movie theater or a grocery store, depending upon what they feel is going to be the best move. A lot of people, when you read comments about it, are hoping for a grocery store because there was a grocery store downtown in Tacoma, and then a couple of years back or so, that grocery store left. Just wasn't enough business, and in its place, now the old spaghetti factory is in that location. The old spaghetti factory was in a different location, but then moved to that particular spot. So since then, there has not been a grocery store right directly in downtown. However, if you go out a little bit, it's still considered to be downtown. There is a grocery store. So a lot of folks are asking for that to be right there where all the kind of the activity is because it just makes a lot more sense. The second new project that recently has been talked about is the city wants an entertainment district. Now, this is kind of like a new, I don't know if it's a new thing, but it seems like a lot of cities are doing this. Tacoma is one of the ones that really and truly, I think, could benefit from something like this. Albuquerque, I know, is planning an entertainment district. I'm aware of them. But a lot of cities in the past have done it as well. Boston has done this around their, around their stadium, the Red Sox stadium. So they have created this kind of entertainment area. There's many cities that have done it. And so what's great about it is that folks who maybe don't want to go to the game or can't afford to go to the game, but they want to be a part of all of the excitement, can go to places that are right next to the stadium and either watch it on TV or be a part of the celebration or whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of cool places to eat, a lot of cool places to drink, things like that, right? Sometimes you will have like festivals and events and things like that that are close by. So it just creates an area of entertainment synergy, if you will. Well, Tacoma has right next to the Tacoma Dome a pretty large tract of land. I think it's like over 10 acres of land that they're looking to turn into an entertainment district similar to Kansas City. Kansas City Power and Light District, I believe is what it's called, is what they're modeling this after. And when I was in Kansas City, I saw this district. I didn't get to go into it as much as I wanted to because at the time I wasn't even aware of it. But I did see parts of, when I go and I look it up online, I'm like, oh, I remember these places. I did see some of the stores and places that they were talking about. But the Kansas City Power and Light District is just amazing. It's really, really awesome. And it brings a lot of excitement to Kansas City. And Kansas City has recently been trying its best to, build up its downtown and bring people into downtown and just spend their time down there. It's very important to do that. So Tacoma, I think, is taking a page from that and saying, look, we have all these other projects that are going on. Now we want to have something that will create excitement. Now, to back up a little bit, the Tacoma Town Center is also trying to do some of the same things by having some of these unique, bars and restaurants and things like that will kind of attract people. But I don't know if those are going to be more higher end or not. My guess is for the entertainment district, it's going to be more for your garden variety person. They're not all these higher end type places. And it's going to be obviously bars, nightclubs, eateries, various things like that. And if you look at Kansas City Power and Light, they have a nice pavilion and canopy area where they have concerts and festivals and different things like that. So it's really, really cool. And I'll put a link to the Kansas City Power and Light to give you an idea. But if this were to happen, it's going to be a huge game changer for Tacoma. And I say that because, with the video I did about Tacoma's economic boom, there's a lot of things to be excited about. And, that $1 billion or so that's being invested in Tacoma, those are great. And it strengthens the economy. But as far as individual people having fun and that type of thing, it's just not really there. There are other projects that are going on. McMenavins is building they're not building, but they're renovating the Elks Lodge, so that's great. But it's just one physical structure, and that's pretty much kind of it. As far as downtown Tacoma, it's kind of asleep at 9 o'clock. Typically, even Monday through Sunday, it's kind of dead down there. So having an actual entertainment district next to the dome is going to be great. And they're stating that they want to do this because they want traffic to get to the dome is bad, to be honest with you. This is a pretty decent sized arena, and the streets in downtown Tacoma are not that big. So by the time folks get to that area, park and do whatever they have to do, it becomes a hassle. So what they're wanting is a place for people to be able to actually come to gradually over the course of whenever there's an event, and they can spend their time, if they arrive early, they can spend their time in this district and go to the various different functions and places and things like that, attractions, and then go into whatever the game is or event that's going on at the Tacoma Dome. Excuse me, I'm like all tongue-tied this morning. I haven't had all my coffee yet. So it makes sense. And then also after the event at the Tacoma Dome, they want people to be able to stay in that district and of course spend money, that type of thing. Now the Kansas City Power and Light, they have hotels and they have residential buildings and all this type of stuff. Whether or not Tacoma's entertainment district will have that, I don't know. But it appears that this is a kind of a go. The city is actually looking for serious developers, people who actually have the money, they have the experience to actually get this done. And they're waiting, I think it's going to be sometime later this year, the summer of 2018, is when they're going to actually look at those bids to decide who they want to choose. Like, what are you wanting to put there? How much money is the project? All of that. So I think that this is going to be a huge win. And I think that it's going to really change downtown Tacoma, probably for the good. I've done videos that talked about, until I'm blue in the face, about the expense of the area, how things are starting to go up in terms of just rentals and things like that and buying homes. I again think that that's going to continue, and the reason for that is because of things like this. Yeah, you have the Amazon effect up in Seattle that makes this happen, but then when you look at all the investments that are going on in Tacoma, the new projects that are coming online, obviously that impacts everything. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to include, like I said, the links for the Kansas City Power and Light, the video about Tacoma's economic boom, which I think is going to be kind of interesting for people who question if Tacoma's got any sort of vitality, because it absolutely does. And also the other video that I promised and I forgot what it is, but I'll put all of those down in the description box below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week or weekend, because today is Friday, so depending upon when I put this up, yeah. So until next time, I will see you. Take care.